get credit. We call it no credit. The third one, don't get credit for what makes you outstanding. Now, take that to the real estate investor. Whatever makes you outstanding, it could be why you do what you do. It could be the people you really love serving. It could be the transaction that you're masterful at doing. I mean, there are residential realtors that are in my network who sell over 100 houses a year. Why? They've mastered networking and they've mastered the deal making process in this market. So their price that they sell at and their days on market, higher price, higher average price, higher percentage over average price, and shorter days on market than anybody else. Like, how do they do that? You kind of want to lift that up. It's like, so if it's a skill or a heart characteristic or a results characteristic that makes you outstanding and that you're really good at, you have to take credit to get credit. And so, not getting credit is one of those things that happen when you're not consistent, back to where we are. It's like consistency is number two. So number three is language, consistent language that transfers energy, not just consistent language. If you say, well, Frank, what do you do? I'm going to use one of my clients who's in financial service. So Frank, what do you do? And Frank says, I'm a financial advisor. I've been a financial advisor for years. I'm a financial advisor. That's a trigger for a lot of people because there's 10 on every street corner and they want to sell you stuff. And here we go again, right? So Frank says, well, I served for years as a financial advisor. And there's a lot of them until I got to a point, I made a decision to serve people at a much higher level, particularly dedicated savers. I created my own company called Safe Savings Options. And today I serve as a saver's wealth advocate. Does that help?
Paints much more of a picture. Yeah.
Now that is the result of brand development. And I get chills down my spine when I say that. It's in my language, it is a series of intangible brand promises that is designed to attract exactly whom he is targeting. He knows he can help people who save over $100,000 a year. They have cash and it's sitting around and they don't want to hand it to Edward Jones because they don't think it'll come back. So if anything looks like Edward Jones, I'll go, no thanks. So we made him look like an institution and sound like an institution. Well, what do you do? Well, protecting, sorry, I'm not in his zone. We created a seal for his logo, a seal, like a seal for a university. And it has, we're like protecting, educating, stewarding. Wow, I want that. What's in there? So when your real estate investor has written down whom he wants to impact, whom she wants to impact, and the impacts that they clearly see they'll have on their lives, and it means they kind of pick their strategy, right? Because if they're all over the map, it's going to be confusing. So they pick their strategy or strategies, and they write those down, and then the brand is defined and languaged based on who they are and their heart and their characteristics they must become to make those impacts. They either already have them or they must become them and get credit for them. Fair enough. I mean, hey. And then when they speak, here's what people do when it works. Like Frank's like this, they go, I want that. What's in there? I want that. What's in there means it's compelling. The language is attracting. They're not really sure what it is, but they want to know more. Or simply they'll go, Wow. I gotta go. Can I have your business card? It's the elevator speech result, right?
Right.
Oh, interesting. Hey, nice suit. What do you do? Well, for years, right? And then they're like, wow, can I have your card?
Okay. So we've got congruent, consistency,
consistent language that transfers energy,
right,
and recognizability. So recognizability, and remember, it's consistent. Okay. So that means how you look and how you sound. You have an audio brand, Paul, and a real estate investor might very well have an audio brand if once they have languaged their brand and they're ready to open their brand's mouth. One of the problems is people start marketing to get leads and they do all kinds of stuff, and the confusion and misinformation and spending a lot of money on marketing that doesn't work ensues because they haven't defined and languaged their brand first. So when you do that first, and then you start, when you picture the brand, or when the brand appears, and in your case, your voice appears, that's audio branding. And there, if you have consistent phrases you use, signature sign-offs, sign-ons you use, those things being consistent help people recognize the brand. The logo and how it's used helps people recognize the brand if a logo is necessary. Because it's not always, but and then for a real estate investor, it might not be necessary unless you're creating an entity other than yourself that teaches, and you're going to teach other people, and they're going to do what you do, and you're going to make, if it's just you, it might not need a logo. But if a logo is helpful, it speaks, it's got language on it, and you've got to pass the 4 acid tests of an excellent logo. It's got to say what it does, be easy to say, easy to spell, easy to remember. So if you're Irish, don't name your investment brand, Shillelagh Investments, because nobody can spell the damn word. Okay. And has legs. So the 2 big ones are says what it does and has legs. So if you're a real estate, let's take a simple example that everybody can. This is, we're talking about logos here. Okay. That's the 5 acid tests of an excellent logo, which would include a brand name, even if it's your name. Okay. Now it might have your name and a tagline under it so that it helps to say what the brand does. Passive investments for your retirement, passive investments for active retirees. It's like that starts to smell like what you do.